Hi guys, welcome back to Train Simulator 2016. All I thought we'd do is try and finish off a route in career mode. So going back to the Riviera Line where we've got 3 to do, we've got service practice first, 40 minutes and 2 green bars of difficulty. And then we've got busy day on the coast and storm consequences, which both have 4 orange bars, so they're going to be a lot more difficult, I would have thought. So let's do service practice, driver class 143 and get to grips with the service you'll be providing. So we'll just wait for that to load up. Need to be patient with the load. It seems like a long time when you sit here and watch it, but actually it isn't that long. I mean, it's what, 45 seconds a minute, something like that. Can't say I've sat here and timed it, but it's not that long, but it always seems a lot longer when you're sitting here watching it. So here we are. It's us. Hello driver, today you'll be taking this service on a practice run to get used to the service you'll be providing. First pick up passengers here at Newton Abbott and then head up to Exeter St David's. Good luck. Okay, open the doors then. Put the reverser into forwards. Acknowledge that. Just put the brakes on step 1 so we know the train isn't going to move. Never move the train while the doors are open. Your scenario will probably come to a very sudden end. Somebody coming to get on. Have a quick look inside. Afternoon, evening, whichever, 5:30. You all alright? Happy looking bunch. Okay, so we're off. Once we get moving, I've got to 100% on the accelerator. I've got separate accelerator and brake levers. And by the look of that signal, we're going to be changing track in a minute, which might be why it goes back down to 40 very briefly. So somewhere up here it looks like we've got to change track to the left. So let's not go above 40. So this track change must be here somewhere. We're just coming into the 40, so I guess this is it here, is it? Yes, there we go. And we're quickly back into the 60 mile an hour and then coming up on a 90. 4.5 miles roughly to Tamworth, 4.5 miles. Over the river there by the look of it. Oh, it's a nice bridge there. So we're going under that bridge. There we go. So our next stop is Tamworth platform 2. It's a sunny evening. When it seems the people on the train are going home after a day's work. Perhaps work in Newton Abbott and live in Exeter or something by the look of things. It's about the right time of day for the evening commute home, so that could well be what it's all about. They just had to tone there for a green signal in the warning system. Under another bridge. It doesn't look like we're going to reach 90 mile an hour anyway. This train is not the fastest train in the world to accelerate, so looks like we're running right next to the coast now, which would make sense. When we did the first look at the Riviera Line, I think we did this route in the other direction, because we're going to be going through Dawlish and places like that on our way down to Exeter. If I remember rightly, I think that route finished at Dawlish, so we didn't do this bit, but we will be getting back onto the same area but in the opposite direction from the first look scenario. Very pretty scenery. And 2¼ miles out of Tameness now. Excuse me. So we should be there fairly quickly, I would think. We are coming towards a 60 mile an hour limit in a minute. There's an 80 and then a 60. So we'll probably start coasting, gently lose speed for that 60 mile an hour limit. We are scheduled to be about 20 seconds early. You can see Tameness platform 2 is now on the scrolling display at the bottom, so we've not got far to go. 1.5 miles. Acknowledge that that'll be for the lower speed limit. There's a warning board telling us we're coming towards the 60. And now we'll just let it run into Tameness. So yeah, we are scheduled, by the look of it, our ETA suggests we're going to be about 20 seconds early. So we're nicely on time, really. There's a lovely bridge going across there. Harbour area. By the look of things, lots of small boats. Very pretty area of the UK, this, down in the southwest. Known as the English Riviera. So we're pretty much into Tameness now. I don't think Tameness is a terribly large place. Small town, I guess you'd call it. Exeter is a much larger city where we're headed at the end of the run. So here's the platform coming up, so we need platform 2, which will be this one to the left, I would imagine. Platform 1 on the other side, one would assume. Yep, there's the platform 2 sign. So come to a halt around here. There's a few people standing around, probably wanting our train. So we'll open the doors. Good evening. Oh, some getting off, some getting on. Bye bye, have a nice evening. Off they go. Can't see anybody else coming to get on at the moment, so that's possibly it. I don't know, got a couple more here. You getting on our train? Yes, good evening, hop on, thank you. There's still a few more people coming. It looks like we're near enough ready to go. Don't think they're going to make it. No. Sorry if you wanted this train. I'm afraid you're out of luck. You were too late. I'm perhaps you're just coming up to get the next one. So, Dawlish is next. A little under 3 miles. You can check our task list, and we'll have Dawlish Warren, Starcross, Exeter St Thomas, Exeter St David's. So that's our run. Currently we're going to be early reaching Dawlish according to the ETA, about a minute early. can see the sea there. I do like the way the waves move and break at the beach. I haven't seen tide actually be in or out. It always seems to be pretty much in along here. It's right up near the wall, but it is nice the way that the waves actually move. You can see that there. Very nicely done. It's like a lovely evening, sun's out, it's a bit of cloud but it's well broken, so it's going to be quite a pleasant evening by the look of things. We have a warning there, probably of the lower speed limit, that's for this. Doesn't look like we've got any problems with time, or we're running nicely to schedule, so we should be fine cruising to Dawlish, which I think is just be the other side of these rocks. Tunnel carved into the rocks here we're going to go through. So what are we now? 1¼ miles from Dawlish. So I'm shortly going to start gently applying the brakes. In fact, we're speeding slightly, so I'll apply the brakes now. And we should just touch 61. So I'll keep the brakes gently applied now to lose our speed as we come towards Dawlish. Quite a few of these tunnels through the rocks. And one assumes fairly soon we'll see Dawlish platform come up. Very red rocks, you can see. So here is Dawlish, these pretty coloured buildings as we approach. I remember those from the first look scenario. So Dawlish platform 2, the ice cream stand there. Getting ice cream on the seafront of Dawlish. So this is platform 2. People seem to be walking down towards this end, so I'll run down here and try and stop at a point where they can all get on if they indeed want our service. Flashing yellow signals at the end of the platform, so we need to bear that in mind when we get moving. There's obviously some reason that they're flashing at us, warning us of something, so you can see those waves moving now. Look at that, it's really clever, it's very nice, very nicely done. And that's a little attention to detail that is very impressive. I mean, they could have just had, you know, the white walls will not bother to move them in and out like that, but it does look very nice, I've got to say, I like that. Okay, so Dawlish, what time are we due to leave here? 17:42, which is roughly now, and we should be 17:46 at Dawlish Warren, so 3 or 4 minutes up the coast. Yep, 143 bonus again, which I think is probably just about maximum. So we'll live with that, and off we go. And once we're moving a bit, go up to 100% acceleration and try and get what speed we can. We're in a 60 coming to a 75, but I suspect we may not make 75 before we have to slow down anyway for Dawlish Warren, platform 2. It's only 1.5 miles away. It's like a very pleasant evening. Pleasant evening for a little run along the coastline. I'm not familiar with the area. I don't know Dawlish or any of this area, Teignmouth or Exeter really, but it does look very pleasant. It has a very good reputation, being a very nice area of the country. UK has a lot to offer in terms of different countryside, and you've got the Lake District, the Pennines, if that's your thing. I mean, there's quite a lot of variety in the UK. I think it's got a lot to offer. Okay, so we're coming into a 70, then there's an 80, then there's a 25 coming into Dawlish Warren, which is probably what the flashing yellow lights are about, and it could be a track change again, I would imagine. I think this is the ice cream stand we saw before in the first look scenario. Yep, that's there. Get your ice creams on a warm day, or warm evening as this is. So yeah, track change again. Look, you can see the signal is lit pointing left, indicating that we are going to be changing to the left track. So we need to get our speed down for this 25 mile an hour limit. And we're almost on time. We're 10 seconds late, something like that. So not much to worry about really. Just a touch behind the schedule. But we're coming into the platform now, so Dawlish Warren platform 2. Let's bring ourselves to a halt around here. You can see the number 2 board, so we are indeed at platform 2. We'll open the doors. Sorry love, I made you walk down the platform a bit to get to us. Plenty of time, don't rush, you're okay. She's going to get on, look, there she goes. He's marching very purposefully down the platform, so one assumes that these guys are going to get on as well. Yep. Are you getting on, love? So we depart here at 17:47. It's about a minute away yet, so there's plenty of time for a few more people to arrive and get on if they want. A few people on the platform the other side as well, waiting to go the other way. Does look like a very pleasant evening. There's a few grey clouds about. You can see the clouds move across the sky as well, which is quite cool. But it's very broken, so I think it's going to be a nice evening. So we'll get back to the cab view. There's a train pulling in the other side now. Pick those people up going the other way, back towards Newton Abbott. So that's fine. So that's Dawlish Warren done. Star Cross is next, 2 miles away. So again, quite a short section. We're in a 25 coming towards an 80, but I certainly don't think we'll reach 80 in 2 miles, so that's not going to be an issue for us. Make sure we don't go over the 25. I imagine we're changing track back out to that track out there again, I would imagine. We have a green signal. So it looks like we have a green signal allowing us to join that track there. You can see this track merges now. So as the tracks merge, we move back out to there, and that will take us into the 80-mile-an-hour limit. Hello there, good evening. So 2 trains in quick succession going through there, so I wonder if one of them is running late or something. Okay, so we're about 1.6 miles from Starcross, so it shouldn't take us too long to get there. Take the opportunity to have a quick look outside again. Very pretty. Very nice area. So anybody who doesn't know the UK, we're on the sort of South Devon coast. Devon is the sort of bottom left bit of the UK that sticks out down there. Go from Devon to Cornwall and then to Land's End. Sort of south of Wales. So we're coming into a 75, but that's not really relevant to us because we're going to be slowing now for Starcross anyway. We're scheduled to be a little bit ahead of schedule. Our ETA suggests we're going to be about 30 seconds early. There's a lot of boats there, harbour or something. Quite a few boats in the water out to the right as well. So we'll start to brake gently as we approach Starcross. About half a mile out. Very pretty area. Look at all the boats in the water. It looks very nice. Lovely evening. There's a fair bit of fishing goes on in this area. Lovely fresh fish in the restaurants and cafes, I would imagine. So this is basically the other side of the UK from where I live. I'm over on the east coast and this is southwest. See if we can stop somewhere near this bridge so that anybody coming across the bridge could get straight onto the train, but it doesn't look much like anybody's going to want to get on anyway, to be honest. It's very quiet at Starcross. Nobody getting off, nobody getting on. So our doors are open, you can see. Very nice scenery. You can just spin around by holding down the right mouse button and get a look around the area where you are. So I think we arrived about 10 seconds early, so that's just about perfect. We're due to leave here at 17:51, which is what it is now. So we're ready to go. So may just have heard the signal from the guard saying okay, off we go. He shuts the doors for us, so we don't need to worry about shutting the doors. So Exeter St Thomas is next, 7.8 miles by the look of it. So this is probably the longest section between platforms that we get. So we're looking for Exeter St Thomas platform 2. It looks like we're following the coastline for a while, but Exeter I think is inland. I don't think Exeter's actually on the coast. Not quite, so I think we have to turn slightly inland. So we'll be going away from the coastline and the sea at some point in the next 7 miles or so. We're almost 6 o'clock in the evening now. Sun is going down slowly. Looks like it might be possibly summer or autumn, judging by the fact that it's 6 o'clock in the evening and still light, so it's certainly not winter. Winter in the UK at times it's dark from 4:30 in the afternoon is the earliest, I think. Whereas in the summer you do have some days, longest day around about middle of June is up until about 10 o'clock at night it's still light. Lovely summer evenings. So 6.5 miles to Exeter St Thomas, and then there'll be like just a mile or so between Exeter St Thomas and Exeter St David's. They are very close together. Another whistle board, another crossing coming up on the soon, so we'll sound our horn. And here's the crossing that we were warning people. So that's a fairly minor road went through there, so maybe you get a few cars go across there. So we sound the horn to make sure the crossing is clear for us to come through. We are doing 65 mile an hour plus. So I think we're heading inland slightly at some point to get to Exeter. I'm not sure if Exeter's actually on the coast. Don't think it is, but don't know the area that well, I have to confess. Exeter's quite a large city. And we're still nearly 5 miles out, 4.75 miles out, so I don't see it yet. And the tone for a green signal. So you'll see those sensors as we go along, little yellow blocks. I'll try and point out the next one. They're the train protection warning system sensors. They produce that single tone for a green signal, or the longer tone, and the warning light that we then have to acknowledge if the signal is anything other than green. But at the moment it's all fairly smooth, green signal, so we continue on our way. There's another whistle board back there, so there's another crossing coming up here. We're getting towards the signal now, so we should see the sensor that I was talking about fairly soon. Be along here somewhere. It's about 50 yards or something before the actual signal, I think. Round about that. There it is there. There you go. So as we went over that, we got that tone saying signal's green. That's what we always like to hear. If you do get the alarm sound and this lights, then you have to acknowledge it. So yes, okay, we know the signal isn't green. So nice evening. Nice evening for a quick run down to Exeter. And now about 2.5 miles, so we'll be there fairly soon. And as I say, I think it's a very short trip to Exeter St David's, which will be our final stop. So again, I can see a green signal, so we should see the sensor and get there it is. Yep, there's the tone for the green signal. We're coming to a 75, so I'm going to start coasting now as we head. There's another whistle board there. As we head towards Exeter, that sound there was for the warning board that you just saw at the side saying you're coming into a 75. It's fine, we're doing 73 and slowing now for Exeter St Thomas anyway, so it's not going to be a problem for us. We look to be running a little early, about 10 seconds or so, so basically we're bang on time, as good as it matters. So you see we've moved away from the coast now, so as I suspected we've headed slightly inland to get to Exeter. I thought that was the case. So 75 mile an hour limit. We'll start applying the brakes. Slow us down for Exeter St Thomas platform 2. That red light isn't on our line, that's on a line from the left which joins down here somewhere. There we go, there's a line merging in from the left. So that's sort of 30 mile an hour. With a warning there for the lower speed limit, which is well the other side of Exeter St Thomas anyway. It looks like we have yellow signals ahead, but that also is the other side of the platform, so I have to acknowledge to say yes, we know that signal is not green, and then we apply the brakes and we'll try and stop somewhere near these people up here who possibly want to hop on for the short trip down to Exeter St David's. So there's a few people on the platform. If we stop around here, we should be able to get on. She's turning and walking this way, so maybe she wants to get on as well. So a few people getting off and a few getting on by the look of it. So it's a very short trip to Exeter St David's. Maybe they're heading down there to get a train, connecting train somewhere else. See a bus to the left there. Not sure if it's at a bus stop or what it's doing, but there's a bus there. Bit of traffic on the road I saw. Shops down there, look. Okay. Back inside and away we go. So we've got a double yellow signal. It should be followed by a single yellow, potentially, and then after that possibly a red. But I suspect, because we're only 1 mile from Exeter St David's, that won't be too much of an issue for us, hopefully. We do have a 45 mile an hour limit we already had the warning board for earlier, and that's followed by a 25. And it looks like the red signal will be at the end of Exeter St David's platform, if indeed it is still red. Could of course change before we get there, but maybe there's a slower train running through in front of us or something, but I don't think it's going to be an issue for us. I'm deliberately not going too fast here because we're going to have to lose speed for this 25 mile an hour limit in a second. Okay, we've definitely got yellow of some sort. Yellow and the board indicating we're going left. Was it? No, going right, I think. Look at that. Okay, we'll see. So, let's get down to 25. Just about did it. Yeah, we're going off to the right. That was a right pointing line, not left. Sorry about that. Right, so we're across onto this line here, and we're going to be stopping at platform 1. All the other stations will be stopping at platform 2 to our left. So platform 1, it makes sense, would probably be over this side. It looks like there's a train in platform 1. That's not platform 1, that's alright, we're turning down here. I was going to say, it looked rather like there was a train sitting in the platform, but... Okay, so we're coming into platform 1. We will apply the brakes. Whistle there for that train to pull out. can hear his engines as he starts to pull away, and we'll come to a halt around about here. Open our doors. And that is going to be the end of the scenario. So we'll wait for our debrief, cross our fingers for a gold medal. I think we should be alright, hopefully. As you can see, even the departure screens are modelled here. And we've got the clock over there, digital clock, so it's all very carefully modelled. How was that? You managed excellent time. Commuters seem happy with the service. Job well done. Yippee! So, give me a gold medal then. Yes, gold medal. There we go. So that's good. So, so that one's complete, and we've got a couple more to do on the Riviera Line, and then that route will be complete. So, see you soon, guys. Take care. Bye now.